Okay, so it's Sunday evening, January 28th, 2018, and I've been out here at the airplane since 9 o'clock this morning. And just a quick summary, I bought this thing on the 6th of January, and I flew up to New York and bought it. The pre-buy that I got was not quite as thorough as I would have liked, but I guess in theory effective. But I bought it a little bit on a gamble. In my mind, maybe I'm a little bit less, I guess I'm more risk averse than some, I don't know. But I bought this thing on a gamble that there was no major corrosion that we couldn't see. And I've been waiting with bated breath for my mechanic to take off these tanks now that I have it home. And I'm very happy to see that everything looks good. So what we're doing is we're doing the service bulletin 1006 on this thing, and the service bulletin itself basically has to do with looking at these spar caps, which would be up here on the top and on the bottom, and of course as far as you could see down into the wing. I have a flashlight here, but after we got these tanks off, he looked in here and he says it looks pretty damn good. So, and I must concur, I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing. It doesn't look like it came, you know, right out of the museum or anything, but it looks, for a functional airplane that's got 5,300 hours in the air on it, it looks pretty good. There's a little bit of surface corrosion here. This is all standard stuff, nothing that Corrosion X can't handle. This is par for the course from every airplane that I've seen, but this is really ultimately what this is about. And so we got the same deal on the other side. And the condition is very similar. It looks good down here, and looks good up top as well. So I'm pretty stoked about that. That truly was a bit of a gamble to buy this airplane without having that answer, and I'm happy to say that that everything looks pretty good to me. So the next step is to do the service bulletin stuff, which is changing out that line right there, and there's also let me walk over to the fuel tanks here. Here's the two fuel tanks that we took off. So I forget which one's which, left and right, but well, there's the fuel. That's my 50 gallons of get me around juice. But the other part of the service bulletin, if you look back here, you got a fuel sending unit. There's a gasket underneath there and some safety wire and whatnot. And then these little tubes, this is a vent tube to drain fuel whenever it sloshes up to the top. So it goes down this tube. So I've got new rubber there, and of course the same thing on that side. And I'm going to clean this up a little bit. If you look right here, nothing in a vacuum and maybe a little toothbrush action can't solve. But I'm going to do my best to get all that cleaned up. So I'm pretty happy that everything looks good. That truly, I can't even tell you how much of a weight that is off of my psyche. I've been sitting at work just thinking about this plane, just beating myself up about whether I bought a lemon or not. And you know, if it needs some mechanical things, I'm okay with that, but something that's significant like a major wing event kind of sucks. So I'm happy to report that it looks good. I mean, this is that's sheet metal there, but this is the spar cap right here, and it's pretty solid. So the other thing going on with this plane is continuation of redoing the interior. I'm actually only redoing the carpet. This is where I'm going to need the flashlight, but the walls, if you look at the walls, they're pretty decent. Let me flood this out. They're pretty decent, and the ceiling is pretty decent. Actually, the ceiling's the best part of the plane. the roof, and that whole plastic thing up there is in fantastic shape. That rear cap needs to be cleaned up a little. This piece of wood I'm going to replace. I pulled the carpet off and that thing looks pretty rough, so I'm going to either cut one myself or see if I can, you know, I'm sure there's somebody on the internet somewhere that makes these that can make me up one and ship it to me, but I can probably do that myself, but I'm not so sure I want to, so we'll see. But I'm probably going to change that out before I put the carpet on the back. So this is the spar on the inside, and I've cleaned up all the adhesive. As a byproduct of that, I've also cleaned off all the zinc chromate that was on there, and there's really no way to do this without cleaning off that zinc chromate, so that now it's all good. But I'm also happy to say there's no corrosion there that I can detect, so that's good. The floor looks good. That side is not quite done, but it's shaping up. That's not done at all, as you can see, but this side's pretty good. So I'm going to get that over there next weekend and finish. There's a little bit more toothbrush detailed work to do along these seat track rails, and I'm going to kind of clean up this middle area just a little bit. And beyond that, you know, she's pretty much ready to go. In terms of getting the new carpet put in, I don't really know how I'm going to clean this. That looks pretty funky in there, but every flight surface on this airplane runs through that box, so I'm a little reluctant to go digging around in there. I may do my best with something, shop vac or something. Beyond that, that's probably going to have to stay. I hate to go moving those cables around, because, you know, your life sits in that box. So but that's what's going on with the airplane. And so like I said, it is Sunday and I'm a working stiff, so I'm about to head home for the day, and I probably won't see the airplane again until Saturday, unless I decide to come out Friday night just to see it. I'm starting to fall in love with her, I will admit. It took me a little bit of time, but this thing right here definitely helped. So, but I'm definitely falling in love with her little by little, and this is coming together, so I'm pretty happy about that. And she's a good little plane, so we'll just keep on trucking along until next weekend. See ya.